Hi. So, do you ever have one of those days where you say, "Oh, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's time to have a drink"? Well, right now it is 5 o'clock in Vancouver, Canada, and I find myself with two glasses of white wine. Yes, it's an improper somewhere because I'm staying in an Airbnb in Vancouver, and this is all they have. So I'm just rolling with it. And so I am from the U.S., from Portland, Oregon, and I'm excited to be learning about wine here in Vancouver, BC. I heard today, I haven't yet verified, that the Okanagan wine region alone has something like 200 wineries now. So I'm looking forward to exploring and kind of sharing with all of you what I find. And so today I'm just going to drink two white wines out of champagne flutes just because I'm alone in a strange town, and what else should I do? And so the first wine I'm going to share that I'm going to try is this wine right here. It's Harper's Trail, and it is a vineyard specific Riesling. I opened it the other night. As you could tell, there's not that much left in the bottle. Um, so it's from British Columbia. I bought it just in the local BC liquor store where you can find a lot of the local BC wines. And so this is from Thad Springs Vineyard, and it's Harper's Trail, and it's a Riesling, and I from 2016, and I have been really impressed with the Rieslings. That's what I'm most excited about so far from Canada. And the other wine I'm going to try and share with you guys is not a Riesling. It is a blend. I went to a local store, not a BC liquor store, one of the private stores. And at the private stores, they often offer wines from other regions because they're not as restricted to selling local wines. And so I asked him, what he's excited about right now that was local, because he's probably a little bit more particular because it's a private store. And they shared that this wine is the hot wine right now that you'll find in all the restaurants around Vancouver. And they make a rosé as well that he can't keep in stock. I said, well, I don't care about the hot wine. I want a wine that's complex and, has a nice balance to it. And he said, this is the one. So we shall see. So it has a cool logo though. And the nice thing about this one is it's from an island. And so it's not Vancouver Island. It is from Pender Island. And it has a star on the label. So this one's a blend. It's a blend made up of Gewurz, Pinot Noir, Pinot Gris, Schonberger, and Ortega from their seaside vineyard, versus a classic Riesling. So I think you could tell this is not at all scientific, and that this wine has been in the refrigerator. The bottle has. So it's nice and chilled. That's why the glass is a little bit frosty. This, I was just walking home with a minute ago with the bottle, put it in the fridge for not quite as long, so it hasn't frosted up the glass. Anyway, total non-scientific, but why not share a wine with friends? So first, let's talk about this Riesling here. And so with the Riesling, you don't have to swirl it before you smell it, but you still should look at the color. You can see a huge difference in color between the two, even without the frosty glasses. This has more of the almost pinkish tones to it, likely from the Pinot Noir. This has a nice light color and some nice aromatics on the nose. I find myself speaking with a bit of a Canadian accent. I can't help it; it's very contagious. But it has some nice aromatics. It has some nice pears that are coming through, and some white flowers. And what I love on it has a nice kind of medium body, but the finish lingers on. It has lime. It's particularly a bit of lime peel on the finish, so it's nice and refreshing. So I had some Indian food last night, and I drank it with this wine, and it was just the perfect pairing because the food was hot and spicy, and it was nicely balanced by the Riesling. Riesling's always a great go-to if you are having some spicy food or something like asparagus that's challenging to pair. Just go with Riesling and you'll be fine. So this is a tasty wine. It's this one. Very sippable, very versatile to go nicely with food. And it is almost like a Spotlicht style for a German Riesling. So it feels like it has maybe a little bit of residual sugar. So I'd call it off-dry. But it's not too sweet. It's not cloyingly sweet. It has just a nice little bit of sweetness to it. Very floral, more than sweet. And so this other wine I'm very excited to try It has quite a different nose than the first one. There's some spices that come through, little bits of like cherries, and it's very floral as well. Oh, and this one is, I could see why it's the hot wine, whatever that means. I can see why it's so popular right now in that it's absolutely bone dry. And so it has some really nice aromatics and a nice full mouthfeel, but there's no residual sugar or sweetness to it at all. So it's very crisp and clean. This would also be a great food wine, go great with spicy food as well. Sometimes something that's a little bit more floral, a little bit towards the sweet side, is nice with spicy food because it's that balance. A bone dry wine can be very lovely as well. Let me try it again, see what else comes through. And it's just very crisp and clean. It's reminiscent of a Sauvignon Blanc almost in the amount of crispness and the way that the gooseberries and the way they come through. It's just enjoyable wine. I probably would sip on this one a little bit more, but I would enjoy them both actually. I'm kind of happy that I have two nice wines to share today. You know, as I've been kind of drinking my way through the Okanagan Valley from Vancouver, I haven't fallen in love with all the wines, and they've been a whole range of styles and quality levels. And so I'm happy today to share two nice ones with you. And so, cheers. Bye. Oh, I forgot, I should mention who I am. And so I'm Jennifer. I'm a certified sommelier, and I'm with Wine Acumen. So thank you for watching. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. Until later, cheers.